Bro, can we talk about how good the NTE 1.3 special live stream was? I think that this live stream was amazingly well done for a 1.3 patch. Now, normally when you think of like the general I guess structure of patches, right? This would make sense for a 1.3 patch to be really good. However, every patch so far has been very good with NTE, and it just keeps getting better and better. I think that they're finally finding their stride of like we are finding more stuff that people want to see, and adding it. We're finding more things that are just going to be fun about the game, and adding characters that actually have the ability to play a significant role. So let's go ahead and we're gonna dive into NTE's live stream. But just before we get into that, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and let me know what you think about NTE's la- latest live stream for 1.3. I want to hear your opinions in the comments down below. Let's go ahead and get into this recap, right? We got a new location called Fogden, which is one of two new locations, by the way. And Fogden is going to be very interesting to say the least. I think Fogden looks really, really cool. It's a very Elden Ring-esque, in my personal opinion, especially since we just got that 1000 minus one nights. Um, and I think it's really, really cool in general that looks like it. But there's also another area, and I believe we're going to talk about that here in a little bit. But let's first go into Zonko. Now, I did have one problem with the Zonko thing. Now, we know that when a summonable character comes into a game like this, into a gotcha game, we know that if it's an evil character, they either turn good or they were never bad in the first place, right? And my gripe with how they did this is they kind of gave a little bit too much away, which is why I deducted a little bit of points on my 8.5 out of 10. It's not to say that it was bad, but at the same time, they really hinted like, oh, you gotta wait and see what happens with Zonko. She sees everybody's flames and all that stuff, which I think is a cool concept, but it kind of really gave away like, oh, okay, so she's gonna turn into a good guy because she sees the main protagonist, the appraiser, as a good-hearted soul. But we do actually have some notes here, which is really good at Pride 1 to do. There's been another redesign of Zonko that ditches the eye patch. Her lore revolves around stealing people's faces and copying their identities, so we'll likely only see her main look in the story. Even though she is a playable villain, they hint that she won't stay that way, which is basically what happened. And yes, she does have the eye patch missing. They kind of showed this in one of the trailers that they showed during that, which was really, really cool. The eye that was covering the eye patch actually is the one that kind of like, I guess, sees the flame of the pure spirit or the pure soul and the not pure souls. So yeah. Zonko's trailer goes a little bit into her backstory and shows a bit of her early Esper ability, Eye of Delusion, which dwells in her right eye. She is an incantation character with the gas archetype. No, she's not gassy, so please don't be weird. She has two states, reality and illusion. She can switch between the two states by using her redirect skill, which is really, really cool to see. Um, and it kind of goes into like how her playstyle is actually really, really good in regards to a DPS character. She's a main DPS, follow-up attack DPS, and also DOT, which is insane lineup for a DPS in my opinion. While in the reality state, she has a regular 5-string basic attack and a heavy attack. She also passively carries the Hunt buff, which boosts her damage dealt. And then while in the illusion state, she has a 4-string basic attack and a hold basic attack, and she can also spread DOTs to other targets in range. In this state, she boosts crit damage of DOTs. There's a timer for illusion mode, and everything she does counts as follow-up attacks. There is also an increase to DOT damage. It is possible for her to have her crit rate buff and the damage buffs at the same time. So she's going to be very technical in that regard, but not in a terrible way, obviously. And I think that that works so well for her. Again, I think that NTE is very good about actually making these characters to be uh very unique, and being able to have that like that timer and the timers both work together to where there is a certain point where you can have both of them going on at once. You're going to be studying her a lot and understanding how to truly build her. Her dodge counter deals additional break damage. Her ultimate, Inferno Flamenco, has 2 presses. She gains a special version of it if you time her redirect skill with her illusion state, meaning she will want to be on the field for a specific amount of time. So yes, she does get double ultimate screens, which is pretty dang sick. I do like that. Her Scorch is stackable, Rip by Thong, and has a special interaction with DOTs. They further NTR by Thong by using her with Lacrimosa, and you can keep this if you want to. I love that. Okay, I need to know who wrote this article or wrote the blog post because by God, that is funny to say that they further NTR'd Bythong. And it is true. They really took Bythong's like thunder with Zonko, but it makes sense because Bythong is more free to play while, Zonko's a, pay to win. So if you don't want to go for Zonko, you could always just get the free to play Bythong. By the way, Gamer Subs, use code TICE for 10% off today's flavor. I'm using 2 scoops of Crimson Moonburst, and I'm doing 1 scoop of the creatine formula Gamer Aid Lemon Lime. Tastes pretty dang good. I'm telling you right now, it's keeping me awake. But yes, that is just way too funny. But I did see they use Lacrimosa. You could also use her in conjunction with Daffodil as well. So yeah, I'm very excited for that. Her open world trait turns her invisible and undetectable by enemies, including Pink Paw's Heist. So again, we have another Pink Paw's character that works so well. So in tandem, you could have her and also Cheese, and you're going to be able to do a lot of good stuff in Pink Paws. So I think that's really cool. Interactions. After the Scarlet Letter incident, Zonko loses her freedom. Zonko's phantom can appear at our side, meaning that we seemingly do not hang out with the real Zonko. The way she acts is different from the real Zonko, right? The real Zonko is not available, and she won't have all of her interactions as of 1.3. They're building those. You also won't run into her in the city. However, she will still have bond interactions with her phantom. So that was the one thing they really wanted to stress was like, even though it's not here in 1.3, they're going to bring it in for later updates. Now, there's pros and cons to this. The cons are obviously that it's kind of weird that they would just go, oh yeah, we're going to release her like this, and that's going to be fine. That is what it is. But later stuff comes later, and people could say that's lazy. However, I'm looking at it from the pro perspective of this is storytelling. And what I think is going to happen is something inside the whole Fogden story is going to cause Zonko to really look deep into herself on what she wants to do. And I think it's going to be to where like she's like, I need to leave and think of stuff, and that's why we get the Phantom, right? Because the Phantom wants to stay here. Like the Phantom is like the good side of her versus the other side that's like everyone is out to be horrible people. So I don't know. That's just kind of a thought process I had with it. But I think it's really cool that they're doing that and building up the story with Zonko. While also going into that, you still can give her gifts and ride along with her. You could also challenge Zonko's Phantom in a duel and learn her moveset when she becomes a playable boss later on. So that's what I think. Zonko's outfits, we got the Twilight Noir, which... Ugh, god damn. And then you also have this one, the Autumn Vintage, which is chef's kiss. And then you have the Moonlit Courtyard, which is her casual, which is bless. Love these. They're all 3 really good costumes and they work well with her. But goddamn, that skin tight body kind of. Whew, whew. They really know what they're doing with Zonko. Now we go to a more wholesome and adorable Linko. Now Linko is actually someone that I was like, you know what? I don't think I'm going to summon for, and now I might summon for, and here's why. She works for the BAC and handles hunting down criminals and something about finding anomalies. She comes with her ghost friend Zhao Zhen, whom she sometimes refers to as a pet. Linko is an animal character with the plasma archetype. She can sync up with the frequency of everything. She can sync with Zhao Zhen to fly, movement, power creep. It looks kind of like a slingshot type mechanic where you glide after slinging her out. So basically, she's able to leap across buildings and stuff, which is absolutely crazy to me. Yes, movement becomes so much faster with her because she's not gliding. She's literally like launching herself and then like she'll land, and I think that she doesn't take any fall damage from that, which is pretty dang crazy. She can perform a sync strike with Zhao Zhen and or one of her teammates. She comes with a unique menu called the radial menu, which allows you to select her teammates. She has a module gauge that builds up by attacking enemies. Linko can apply a mark to enemies, and when any ally hits an enemy with the mark, she will deal synced or deal a synced strike, which means that basically you're getting free syncs just like that in essence, right? It's really cool how she's going to play out with that kit. Her redirect skill allows you to pick up a specific teammate to perform a sync strike with. Any module you have will be consumed to perform this. And her ultimate oversync pushes her into overdrive, and she can sync with up to 3 teammates at once, dealing a bonus burst of AoE damage at the end. And the damage dealt increases when enemies have more debuffs on them. During this window, any damage with teammates and support skills counts as follow-up attack damage. She's busted when it comes to being able to just dish out damage. She is a burst DPS character, and it's really crazy what she's able to do. I was like losing it, bro, because I was like, this kit looks absolutely insane to work with. Very tricky, but still insane to work with. Linko has a hexed passive, just as we suspected, making it the first of its kind. Targets under hexed take increased follow-up attack damage, so she's going to work really well with somebody like zankou. Makes perfect sense. Linko's move in and ride along will both become available in this update. A very cute alt for Linko with a new hairstyle. Looks like a tied up knot hair, which she did have a very cute leisure outfit. So I was like, oh, that's adorable. A cute astronaut skin and an arcade game based skin are also shown. Exactly. But yes, both of these boards are going to be absolutely insane to go for. So I'm just saying it's going to be a treat. They showed off the new arcs, obviously, the Ravenous Blade for zankou and Linko's, which is voice of the Voyager. We also got the other new location that we were talking about, Duskmoor. And I find it crazy that Duskmoor is the size of Hairthu entirely. It's crazy, and it's very Forza Horizon 6 based because it's a lot of driving in a lot of really cool areas, which I don't think is a bad thing. I think that them taking inspiration from Forza Horizon 6, being how good of a game that is and how much the racing and cars are integrated into Neverness to Everness, it is a great game to get inspiration off of. And they got a lot of inspiration, I'll tell you that. This one looks really, really cool, and I'm very excited for Duskmoor. I think that this is a great area to add into it. Summer outfits. Now, during my reaction, I won't lie, I've been busy, and I've already been over this in the past videos where I was at Offkai and I was dealing with a lot of stuff on the side. So I missed out on a few things and forgot a lot of things. I thought that there was going to be 6+ outfits. There's not, because Shinku and Iori already have their summer outfits, so I got to make sure to get those real quick before they go away. But we're getting more outfits, actually. We're getting an outfit for Natalie, which is kind of meh. I don't really care for Natalie, so that it is what it is. We're getting one for Mint, which is looking good on her, right? We're getting one for Chaos, which looks like a scuba diving body or skin tight bodysuit, which is kind of cool for him. Like good on him. I'll probably get that either way. The appraisers are getting one, and of course zankou is also getting a very lovely swimsuit. I hope we get to see it here in a bit. But this is kind of a preview right here with the new activity of the volley star, but you could see a close-up of Mint's outfit. But they're adding volleyball to Neverness to Everness as a city thing, and it'll become permanent after this update, but they're going to do a whole event based around it, which I think is spectacular. I think that they're so good. This is why I like modern games. I love modern games now because while medieval is great, it's limited. I feel like with modern, you could do anything that's from medieval and also as a regular, right? You could play Mahjong one day, then you could go do the 1000-1, and then you could go and do beach volleyball. It's pretty crazy. But you actually get to level up your characters, you get to level up the stats, and it's a separate system in of itself, which is really cool. And then we go into Shipwreck Salvage, which you get to ride a jet ski. And we'll talk about this as well. Well, it's right here. Well, not really. That's another event, but we'll get to the jet ski here in a bit. But you get to basically salvage stuff. You got to take it back, and then you can, gain fawns and all that stuff from it. Pretty cool event in general. And then Surfbreaker is a racetrack with the jet ski, which is phenomenal. And then we finally get the actual news that we are going to get our first seaborne or waterborne type vehicle, which is the Tide, which is the jet ski, and it is going to be the summonable thing, which is like what we got with the bike previously, and of course the Porsche. So very cool. I'm going to be summoning for this. I don't care. I got enough funds. I'll do it. And then we're also getting another new vehicle that we could buy, the Sirocco. And this is a dune buggy for off-roading. And I found this really cool because, again, it's another one of those things where the modern age just kind of makes it so much more fun. So I really like it. We're also getting a bike, a regular bicycle. And again, this is one of those things where it's like, some people would be mad, but I think it's so funny to have something like this. It's literally GTA built. It's GTA coded, but it's got its own little lovely style. You could have somebody on the back, which is there's going to be an event where you could take people behind the back of the bike and drive them around. So really cool. They made a joke during this, by the way, which made me laugh. They're like, "How do you gain a star while riding a bike?" And I was just like, San Andreas, man. Oh man. We got a new property, the Stone Meadow house. I like this more than the Porsche house or the Porsche building. I'm gonna be so straight up. It's quiet, cozy. You could plant stuff in the back. Like actually planting and farming is in the game now. That's crazy to me. And then you could also do this event brick by brick, which is helping with construction projects and even operate vehicles like dump trucks, forklifts, and more. So if you are forklift certified, you get to show off a little bit. We got Runaway Echoes. A horde of monsters will come rushing at you from every direction. Think Hollow Cure or Vampire Survivors, which we talked about actually in the previous video in regards to Withering Waves doing something like this. It's a bullet hell / bullet heaven type of game, and I just found it funny that both of them are doing these. So it's really, really cool. I love the fact that they're doing it. Wow, the devs also confirmed that Chaos isn't as hot as the male MC. That's funny. But then we got more updates to 1000-1 Nights. It's getting even more updates, including a new tower style mode where you could climb through increasingly difficult floors, defeat an enemy, and move to the next floor. There's also an infinite mode for those who want to see how far they can go. The standard tower has 99 floors, and the devs are interested in seeing how far players can make it in the infinite mode. And then this gives an overview of all the events. We got the volleyball beach event, we got the jet ski racing event, bagel supplies, 56,000 bagel points for free, shipwreck salvage, runaway echoes, which is the vampire survivors, breezy tour, the bike ride along event. Returning events, we get 10 red dice, hunter's crucible, which is a PvE boss rush, 2 times city stamina consumption with the stamina recharge, gold clash, 2 times fawns for heist, pixel surge, 2 times pixel spending, fawns rush, which is 2 times bonds from city stamina, and then beyond the rails is getting their upgrade as well. They also confirmed permanent activities that are going to be coming after 1.2. Going gone, which is the passive income from the event that we currently have in NTE for 1.2, which is the auction events, which I think is really cool. Shadow and Seek, which is the prop hunt event, which is actually kind of fun. I like the way that they did this more than what Genshin did, personally. And then Muse Flash, which is the scratchers stuff. There are also more scratches for you to get scammed by. Unfortunately, these scratchers don't count towards your tycoon level and Pob's rich list. So get all the scratches that you can to count towards your current level, and then you'll go from there. Random outfits. Characters may now change outfits depending on the context. For example, if you take Nanalie to school, she might automatically switch to the school outfit. They're going to have a little button inside of the character screen for you to be like, okay, I want to activate it completely. And it'll switch outfits for the outfits that you do have. I think that's such a unique thing that I don't see in other games. Like, you see it in Uma Musume a little bit because of the fact that, you know, it'll go through like the event. You're like, oh, they're at the beach, or oh, they're at school. Oh, they're on the track. But this is different. This is actually different. This is like walking around and it'll automatically switch you to that costume. I think that's a beautiful addition. I think that's really, really cool. They did show Zankou going from her normal outfit, and then when she went into the ocean, she switched to swimsuit, and I was like, oh, you know. City stamina is being increased from 100% to 200%. This means we can burn through our stamina much faster. Pink Paws Heist is getting a mini map, which is insane. Tycoon Incentive Fund, the 1 million bi-weekly funds pool that used to be exclusive to Pink Paws Heist. This pool will now be shared with the beach volleyball tournaments and the collectibles warehouse and Going Gone, which is pretty cool. And then they said, oh, in 1.4, by the way, you know that amusement park that's in Harethu? Yeah, we're going to be opening it, and it's going to be the new map. So they already gave us a big update with Duskmore. They gave us Fogden, and then they're like, oh yeah, Puka Land is already going to be released too, which is, I think, is so cool that they're adding so much to the general area. And yes, like, you know, you could say like, oh, well, they shouldn't add like too many areas, otherwise it's going to get so like expansive. I think it's cool. I think that it's cool that they're adding Puka Land finally, and it's a different type of area comparatively to the ones that we've had. We had the Expedition 33S type of area. We are now getting an Elden Ring type of area. We're getting a Forza Horizon type of area, and now we're getting an amusement park. So it's so like crazy contrast. I love where they're going with this. Overall, this live stream was absolutely amazing, and NTE continues to prove why they are really good at or Hada Studios continues to prove why they are so good with NTE right now. I think that they took everything they learned from Tower of Fantasy and was like, we're going to make everything better, and we're going to listen to the community. Because for me, I think that it was too late for them to listen when it came to Tower of Fantasy, but NTE has been nothing short of spectacular, and I'm going to be spending way too much money on this update. So let me know in the comments down below what you think about NTE's 1.3 special live stream. Tell me what you think is the best thing, and tell me what the worst thing is, and give your score. I gave it an 8.5. I'm sticking with the 8.5. I think that this was really, really good. A lot of pros, very little cons. So that's going to be it. Love you guys to death. And as always, we will catch you in the next video. Please take care and be safe.